Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. You wanna beat for the king? What is you gonna do? When you show up on the scene, what is you gonna do? You and your friend, if they don't let you want to. If you happen what I do, you can hear me dead. I got a tool and a vest, I can get some respect. I'm gonna make it hard for another something to flex. Show them this ain't a squad or something to test. Man, my too large and we way too fresh. Work well with we check the lane like a game of chess. You wanna be better, bring your best. We standing in the front yard yelling, bring them out, hey. All my hot girls yelling, bring them out, hey. All the dope boys yelling, bring them out, hey. Fuck the back day yelling, bring them out, hey. All the front yard yelling, bring them out, hey. All my hot girls yelling, bring them out, hey. All the dope boys yelling, bring them out, hey. Fuck the back day yelling, bring them out, hey.
Welcome, football fans around the community and around the country via the World Wide Web. We welcome you to Eastlake High School football C-Team action here as the Eastlake Wolves get set to welcome in their rivals to the north, the Woodinville Falcons. We are counting down to kickoff with about 2.5 minutes before we get underway this evening. And as always, I'm here with the president, Coach Jim Ort. Jim, how you doing tonight?
Coach, glad to be back with you again. There we are. Coach, good to be back with you again. Looking forward to this night. And through our pregame, we talked about it here. I think that Eastlake should be ready after that good win last week.
Yeah, nice for the Wolves to get into the win column finally. And tonight, as we flip the calendar over to the 1st of October, appropriately, it feels a lot more like fall. We've got a steady rain happening right now. It's a lot cooler than it was a week ago. And as the Wolves get ready to welcome in the Falcons, we get to see them for the first time in some adverse weather conditions. We'll see how that impacts the team's play on both sides of the ball, Jim. Looks like captain tonight is game day captain is George Hunkins, number 13, out there with the officials doing the coin toss, Jim, and good to see George in uniform.
Yep, I think he's ready to go. I don't think he got through the end zone last week. Did he, Coach? I think he pushed his way to it, but I don't think he got in there.
Maybe one of the more interesting plays we've seen this season. He had the lateral or fumble or whatever the heck we want to call it late in the game that was picked up and ultimately run to the end zone by Nico Frantella. George still looking for his first touchdown on the season, but great to see him in pads tonight and ready to go.
Yep.
Indication is the Wolves will be receiving. At this point, we'll cut over to our stadium announcer, John Tracy, for announcements and the playing of the national anthem.
Welcome to Eastlake Stadium for the game against the Woodinville Falcons and your Eastlake Wolves.
So, Coach, last week against Lincoln, we had pretty good coverage and pretty good run back. So I'd like to see that be expanded tonight.
Right, we'll see how Woodinville kicks the ball. It's the one element of the game we did not get to see during the little jamboree that these two teams participated in preseason. As usual, Connor Karsh and George Hunkins back deep to receive for the Wolves. And we are moments away from getting underway.
Looks like the rain stopped here, so we're going to have a good kickoff, I think. Hopefully we'll get some yardage on this return. Woodinville gets set, and the whistle's there. And we're off.
Ball's away. It's over to Hunkin's side. He's going to fake the handoff to Karsh on the reverse.
Oh.
Gets a nice seam up the right side. He's behind the picket fence. One guy to beat. Can't do it, but he gets over the 50-yard line into Falcons territory. Looks like he's going to be marked down at about the Falcons' 47-yard line, so the Wolves start in tremendous field position tonight.
Good hard run, Coach. Good hard run.
Excellent blocking on the return. Wolves really set up the picket fence, and George did a nice job of selling the reverse on the kickoff. So the Wolves will start at 1st and 10 here at the Falcons' 47 in plus territory.
So it looks like we got this on our line tonight, Coach. Jack Ort looks like he's leading the right tackle. Matthew Fadul, Christopher, Charlie, and I can't see who our right guard is.
Looks like it's the usual group. I think that's Julian Meyer out there, Coach.
There.
Okay, Connor's behind center as usual, and opening tonight at running back will be Jack Randall. That's number 3. It's going to be a quick bubble screen out to Nico Frantella, shakes a tackler. Got a great block on the outside from Finn 7. And Nico scampers down the left sideline, out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
So we got a man down.
Looks like we've got a player down and around the 50-yard line for the Falcons. We'll have a stoppage in play here as we check on this little injury. Hopefully this fella's all right. Nice start for the Wolves, though.
Yeah, nice run by Nico there to kind of elude that tackler and get up the sideline. Moves the chains.
Well, last week the Wolves started deep in their own end. Jim, they had a chance to get the game started on a positive note, couldn't do it. Went for it deep in their own territory, ended up turning it over on downs. This week, already to the opponent 35-yard line, they'll be in great shape here as we get ready to resume action. It looks like the player's up.
That's good.
And the good thing is he's going to be walking off on his own power.
That's good. That's good.
That's number 15, Jackson Harris. Good to see Jackson up and moving off.
Harris back on his feet for the Falcons. It's first down the Wolves.
So the Wolves will have the ball at the 35, left hash. Fresh set of downs. Connor Karsh into the huddle.
I'd like to see a handoff George Hunkins here, see if we can get some inside.
All right, Crandall to the left of Karsh. We got twins to the left, twins to the right. That's Cody Peck. He moves in line as a tight end there. New use for Cody there. That's kind of cool. We get an inside handoff to Jack Crandall. He bounces off a tackler, leans forward, gets it down to the Falcon 28-yard line. That's a gain of 7.
Yeah, nice run. Real nice run. Like how Jack followed his lineman up there. It got in the second level.
Well, we've been begging for it for the last couple of weeks, Jim, looking for the Wolves to establish something in the run game. No better place to start than behind your big right tackle there, Jack Ort, and his counterpart at right guard, Julian Meyer. 2nd and 3 for the Wolves here. Ball still oriented towards that left hash mark. Here comes Connor into the huddle with the play. Rain is picking back up. Ball security on a night like this, Coach.
Yep, hang on to the ball. Hang on to that rock.
2 hands on it, gentlemen. Hunkins checks into the game now at running back. He'll be to the right of Karsh. We got twins to the right, twins to the left. Here comes Nico in motion across the formation. It's a little shovel pass to Nico. Lead block by Hunkins. He's got a bunch of real estate.
Oh, almost lost that
Nico
ball.
comes inside, taken down just inside the 20-yard line. They'll mark him down at about the, looks like 17 or 18-yard line. Call it the 17.
Looks like a good first down.
That's good enough for a first down.
A gain of 10 for the Wolves, and they are marching.
Tackles made by number 9, Sean Lefevre, and 75, Creighton Conley for the Falcons.
Well, that was a good run there, Coach. That was well done. Get to the edge and find a blocker upfield, get some yardage. That was well done.
He had all kinds of choices. George was out in front of him with pick your poison lead block, and boy, that was so wide open. I think one of us could have run it.
Could have made it up through that hole.
All right, so Hunkin stays in the game, trips to the left for the Wolves here. Running back to the left behind center, Connor Karsh. George is going to bubble screen out. They're going to fake that. Connor's going to follow a block up inside behind Charlie Jensen. He's going to run down, tripped up inside the 10-yard line, falls forward to the 4-yard line. That's Karsh. Nice gain there on first down, and it'll be goal to go for the Wolves. Mark it at the 4-yard line.
That was a good play, Coach. I like that release that Hunkins did. That made those linebackers move, and then he used his legs and got right up to the middle, following Charlie right through the hole.
One thing we've seen in the early going this season, Jim, a lot of movement from the left side of that line. They're very quick over there with Chris Brookshire and Charlie Jensen. That time Charlie pulls around, leads Connor up through the hole. Really nice misdirection play, and the Wolves are in business here. First and goal from the 4-yard line. It's an inside handoff to Hunkins. He's going to go over the left side, and that was just too easy. Walks into the end zone almost untouched. And George Hunkins gets his first touchdown on the season.
Well done, George.
Wolves up 6-0 early. PAT pending.
Replay? Oh.
Yeah, here we go right here on the replay, Jim. You're going to watch George just follow the block of the guard there. That's Chris Brookshire just paving the way, and he didn't even get hit until he was a yard into the end zone.
He was full shoulder pads in before.
So the Wolves electing to kick a PAT tonight. Nico Frantella, who handles the place kicking duties in relief of Andrew Grant, who's still out with the injury bug. Hope to see Andrew back next week. There's a snap. Ball's down. Kick is up.
You got it.
And the kick is good. So the
Well
Wolves
done.
jump up to a 7-point lead early in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was just execution all the way, Coach. Like to see that kind of established too, right? We got good up front line blocking, dominated on the ground and right to the end zone.
Noteworthy that the Wolves did not throw in that drive, Jim. They did, statistically speaking, have one pass on the shovel pass to Frantella, but I mean, really, that's an inside handoff for all intents and purposes. They didn't throw the ball downfield, and they were able to march down with relative ease on the Falcons.
Yeah. 7:16 in the first quarter here, and we're already on the board. That's a good sign of where we're going.
So the Wolves come out in their typical balanced formation for the kickoff. Does look like they might be missing a fella down here on the right side here, closer to their own bench. Hopefully they'll sort that out fairly quickly.
We only have 10 on the field, don't we? 1, 2, 3.
Yep, Nico the kicker is going to be, he should be tasked with counting up his guys here and making sure that he acknowledges, but I think the gunners on that side figured it out. And here comes Lincoln. He's just going to go ahead and stay out there as that gunner on the right side. So Wolves line it up to kick it from the middle of the field from their own 40. Two fellas deep back for the Falcons. Don't have numbers on those, but we'll try to get that on the kick. And Nico's just going to kick the ball out of bounds, so we're not going to worry about the returners. The ball goes out at the
about the 29-yard line or 31-yard line.
Flag on the play. It's out at about the 30. Draws a penalty.
So the penalty will march the ball forward for the Falcons. They'll start at their own 35-yard line. And here comes the Falcons offense.
Going to be spotted at the 35-yard line.
Coach, did you get a look at these guys on that jamboree scrimmage?
I didn't look at any films, Coach. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that. I was not in the area when it happened, but I'm hoping that by your sharp eye, you'll be able to pick through this pretty quick.
Well, they did throw the ball down the field a lot. They've got some taller guys on the outside that can make contested catches. We'll see how the offense can perform in this weather. It's a little different when it's a warm, sunny Saturday than when it's a cold, wet Wednesday night. All right. Yep, we got a bunch of trips to the right there for Woodinville. They hand off immediately. Cody Peck into the backfield. That play was stacked up by the left side of the D-line, and Cody Peck screams in off the right edge. That's an immediate loss of yardage for the Falcons, loss of 2.
Second down.
Starters left to right along the Wolves defensive line. That's Charlie Jensen at the left end, playing next to Jack Ort, number 77, number 78 Julian Meyer, and 48's Cody Peck. We'll get to the linebackers and DBs after this play. Falcons come out with twins to the right, twins to the left. Running back in a spread formation, offset to the right. 2nd and 12 for the Falcons here. They're throwing. And they catch a slant pass in front of Case and Goldie up to their own 44-yard line. That's a pickup of, we'll mark it to the 43. It's a gain of 8. Falcons will now have it 3rd and 3. This is pretty manageable for them here, Coach.
Number 10, Case and Goldie. completed tackle for the Wolves. It's 3rd short.
Linebackers for the Wolves are number 56, Chris Brookshire. He plays the Mike linebacker, which will be the one closer to the boundary. George Hunkins, number 13, playing at the Sam. That'll be to the field side. Defensive backs, Finn Seven, number 11, Jack Crandall, number 3, Connor Karsh, number 5, number 10, Kason Goldie locking down the right corner, and number 9, Nico Frentella. All right, so trips to the right for the Falcons here. They're back to the air. Here comes Charlie off the end, whiffs on the... Looks like a quarterback started to give himself up, and Chris helped him to his seat there at the 45-yard line for the Falcons. That'll bring it to 4th and 1. You'd have to imagine they'll go for it here.
Tackle made by number 56, Chris Brookshire, and it's 4th down.
Well, Charlie had a chance at the sack in there. He got his big arms up. He was going to knock the ball down if it was thrown. Unfortunately, he kind of ran right by the quarterback. He put just a little bit of a shake on him. But the Wolves with a chance here to get the ball back quickly. We'll see what the defensive coaches dial up here. Falcons spread it out with twins to either side. Inside blitz from Hunkins. The ball's up. And while that looks like it could be a 1st down, he paid a price for it. Yep, they're going to move the chains. All right, pick up a 2 for the Falcons. Hunkins finished it off, but no, a little bit of a wobbler, and I think that's how it's probably going to look a lot of tonight. It's going to be tough to get a grip on that slippery ball, Jim. All right, Woodinville here with trips to the left side, tight to the boundary here. They're in a spread. Inside handoff.
Oh, just missed there.
All right. Ball carrier swallowed up by Hunkins there. Short gain on the play. We'll give him a yard. That'll bring up.
Jack Crandall making the tackle.
Check that. That was Crandall on the tackle, number 3, not number 13, excuse me. And it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Falcons, midfield.
Still a pretty good stop there.
Like to see the Wolves tackling in open space like that, Jim. That was something that earlier in the season was a little bit of a struggle.
Didn't see a lot of that.
And if they can make Woodinville earn their way down the field here, that's good for the defense. 2nd and 9 here. Falcons come out with twins to the left. Quarterback's rolling right.
Good play. Good play. That was Jack
Crandall with just a bone-rattling tackle right there. That's the hardest yard that they'll pick up tonight, perhaps.
Oh, well tackled too, Coach. I mean, good execution, Jack. Just right through the body.
All right, so it's going to be 3rd and 8 now for the Falcons. They're still on their side of the 50 at the 49-yard line. Far hash now. And the Wolves once again get their opponents behind the chains, and we'll see if they can find a way to get themselves in a favorable 4th down situation and maybe get this defense off the field.
That was a hard yard to get for that receiver.
All right, so the Falcons have twins to either side. Haven't shown a vertical threat yet. That doesn't mean it's not there. Number 18 goes in motion to the right. That's Parker Eubanks. Back throw.
Oh, screen. Oh.
Screen pass falls incomplete.
Tell you what, he had a lot of yards on front of him there if they did catch that.
So 4th and 8 here for the Wolves as we make it down to 2 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the first quarter, and this one's flying by, Jim.
Yeah, we've spent some time on the treadmill here.
All right, Wolves come out in their typical 4-2 defense. Crandall's flexed up in the flat to the right side. Even formation for the Falcons. They're going to kick it away on a short pooch punt. Takes a Falcon bounce. It's going to roll down to the 20 and inside the 20. Falcons will down it at nearly the 15-yard line of the Wolves. So the Wolves will have the ball back. That's the good news. Bad news for the Wolves. They are deep in their own end.
Deep in our end.
Looks like the official's going to mark it dead at the 16. And it'll be 1st and 10 Wolves here as we get into the late stages of the first quarter. Jim, might be a nice time to take a pause and make a mention of our sponsors tonight.
Yes, thanks, Coach. And we'd like to once again thank our for years of support to Eastlake and the program and other clubs and programs with Kinson and Kinson Homes. East Side is Seattle Homes experts. They have been a cornerstone in our sponsorship booths, and we can't say enough thank yous.
All right, so here comes the Wolves with trips to the right here on 1st and 10, deep in their own end. Running back is George Hunkins. He's also offset to the right. Karsh is going to roll slightly to the right, trying to get out from behind some blockings, reverses field. Oh my gosh, here he goes.
Quite a big wall
they always
right
got some
there.
open space. He gets up the left sideline, and now it's a foot race. And Connor gets shoved out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Nice scramble there by Connor. Didn't like what he saw out to the right. Turned it around and found a whole bunch of open space.
You know what I like, Coach, what I saw is when Connor rolled back to the left there was a wall of his offensive linemen ready. They just turn around and look for a block. I think when they see their film like that, they're going to be encouraged by that they look for a body, look for a block.
A big 81, Charlie Jensen, once again, ripping up the field and looking for work. It's good to see.
Like that.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Wolves at their own 40 now. I guess that takes away the field position problem, Jim, as they come up to the line here. We're going to have twins to either side for the Wolves. Cody Peck tightens it up. He'll be at the tight end spot. Okay, so twins to the left. Hunkins follows the pulling guard, kicks it up the middle, shakes the tackle, gets wrestled down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That's a nice gain, 9 yards on first down.
Yeah, Jack Hunkins just put his shoulder pads right through that line and made them tackle him.
That's Keaton Tarr for the Woodinville Falcons on the tackle, but not before Hunkins picks up 9 and puts the Wolves in a second and very short. And this is the kind of space on the field and the kind of down and distance, Jim, where you can really open the playbook and do anything you want.
I'd like to see us do that inside the receiver screen maybe, just to see if we get to the edge.
So Hunkins will get a little bit of a breather here. Crandall checks in at the running back spot here for this second and short for the Wolves. And they come up to the line once again with a tight end and twins to the left. You know, I'm noticing just now, Coach, that we do not have Abhinav Macha tonight. That might explain why Cody Peck is in there at the tight end doing a nice job with a seal block on the end that time. Connor just fakes the inside handoff, scampers around that block from Cody, and is able to pick up 5 or 6 here. Looks like they'll mark him down at the Falcons 46. That's a gain of 5.
Yeah, good legs with Connor again. Way to read that and bring it down and get it out through the line.
So a fresh set of downs for the Wolves here. So the endless supply of football talent to the Woodinville Falcons. That tackle was made by Loa Tuiasosopo, number 29. I think they've had a Tuiasosopo in the program, Jim, every year since.
Probably ever since you and I have been here.
Oh, my goodness.
Since you've been here.
A long time. All right. Wolves come out again, motion across the formation. That's number 28.
I think he moved forward. I think that's
So false start on the Wolves, and for the first time tonight, they find themselves in a behind-the-chains, undesirable down and distance situations. It'll be 1st and 15 for the Wolves here with 46.9 left in the first quarter, and they're right back up onto the line of scrimmage. They're ready to just roll, Jim.
Yep.
Why change the play? Everything's worked except that last one with the timing. Just keep it moving.
There goes a pull from Christopher around the end, like that.
And they get back all the penalty yards and then a couple of more. Connor with a gain of 8 there on the fake.
Well, that was a good pull on Christopher, Coach, right there. Came around that right side, head up, came right down into the hole. Got all that yardage back.
So that'll bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Wolves here. Once again back into Falcon territory. All right, Wolves up to the line, and once again, twins to the left. This seems to be the formation they're favoring tonight. And that just takes us down to the end of the first quarter.
Well, pretty commanding, Coach. I think we've chewed up most of the clock, and except for that one drive that the Falcons had. But for the most part, we owned that quarter.
Yeah, pretty good quarter for the Wolves. I don't think they could have scripted it much better. Forced a punt on the Falcons' only possession, and the Wolves scored on their only possession. We come into the second quarter with the Wolves having a chance to add on to the lead. While we're taking a break in the action, we want to say thanks to more of our sponsors. Sherrill Hill Compass Real Estate, helping Sammamish neighbors find their place to call home. And LBM Travel. Thank you for your support, LBM Travel. Let Leanne be your expert guide to travel and savings.
So, Coach, I really liked what I saw on our offensive line. I think that was what we wanted to see from those guys up front, and really sort of, dominate their assignments and really give us some of the running real estate we wanted.
Yeah, it seems like up front the Wolves are getting done what they want to get done, Jim, and we'll see if they can continue to enjoy that advantage throughout the rest of the game. 2nd and 7 here as the Wolves get ready to break the huddle and start the second quarter. They'll have the ball in between the hash marks in Falcon territory. And Coach Ed Kinney's got to feel really good about how the offense has performed so far.
Yeah, been clicking, even though we don't have Macho with us tonight, but we definitely are getting the execution we want. I really, really, really like our offensive line, the way things are coming together.
Okay, so Hunkins lines up in a wildcat, fakes the handoff, scampers to the right, cuts it back to the left, lots of open field, and he's gone.
I don't think anybody's catching that one.
All the way, 43 yards for the touchdown. That's George Hunkins faking everybody out of their boots. And the Wolves add on. It's 13-0.
Well done, George Hunkins, on that wildcat, Coach. Just took it right through that seam and then found a blocker and took it all the way down.
So the Wolves will come out here and kick another PAT, hope to add on. We got a replay of this. And you just look at that cut across the defense. I don't think they knew where the ball was.
Didn't even know where the ball was. You're right, Coach. They just couldn't find it.
Okay, this is Frantella getting set to kick it. Here's the snap. There's the hold. It's down. Kick is up. And the kick is no good. He pushed it a little bit to the right.
With 9:49 left in the second quarter.
Boy, Coach, that run that Hunkins just ran through there, you're right. I don't think that their linebackers didn't find the ball. He came through it, and the next thing you know, he was just around that edge. They just had no way to catch his speed.
Well, one thing that's nice to have when you're a football team coach is speed, and especially when you have the fastest guy on the field, and that might very well be number 13.
True.
He can really run, and you see what kind of damage he can do when he gets the blocks and has some seams to run through. It doesn't take much for him. Okay, so the Wolves will come out here ready to kick off. Frantella tees it up.
So you stay in our lanes. Collapse down on Woodinville here, so you get good field position.
Jim, I want to call out one of the Wolves players for I caught you doing something right. Number 35, Aniv Aradia. He is the inside guy closest to the kicker on the bottom of your screen. He's number 35 there, just to Nico's left. Saw him at the gym not once but twice this weekend getting his lifts in.
I like
nice
it.
work, Aniv.
I like it.
All right. Kicks up and away. It's on the right hash mark. Falcons fielded at their own 28. Got a little bit of running room. That's number 29, it looked like.
That was a pack of Wolves converging on the ball there.
Yeah, that's 29, Loatui Asasopo, one of the upbacks, and he takes it all the way out to, looks like the officials are going to mark it at the Falcons' 44-yard line. So certainly better starting field position for the Falcons this time than last. They get it about 8 yards further forward, shorten the field up a little bit. And the Wolves, for the most part, it looks like they've kept their starters out on D. They'll try to shut down the Falcons once again, get the ball back, and add to their lead, Jim.
Let's see what Woodinville comes out with this series here. Maybe a little more to the air.
Well, you got twins to the right, tight end to the left, and another receiver out there to the far side, Jim. Motion man is number 18. He's going to come across. They're going to fake the jet sweep, hand it off up inside, and that is just shut down real quick by Crandall and Hunkins.
Boy, they just shut him. He had nowhere to go. But
I think the Wolves will let him gain 2 yards if it's like that all night.
Yep. Big tackle, big-time tackle out of both of them. And I like the fact that both Jack and Hunkins didn't even take that play action. They just knew right away where that ball was headed.
All right, so twins to either side now for the Falcons. They're going back to the air. Number 2 throws it. Misses his intended target. Almost caught by the guy behind him and almost caught by Kason Goldie. Who wants it?
I think it went through his arms, Coach. I think he had it, but I think he wasn't sure it was his.
Kaysen had a brilliant game last week. Haven't had a chance to call his name yet tonight, really. Hasn't had a lot of action, but...
did he have a touchdown last week, Coach? I think or he was. Didn't he? No, he had quite a few receptions.
Yeah, had a couple catches and played very nice defense.
Yeah, he had great defensive play.
So the Wolves have the Falcons in the 3rd and 8 here from their own 46. Got 8:56 left in the second quarter. And the Falcons come out with twins to the right. Back to the air.
Again. Oh.
Okay, Two's going to take it. He's going to pull it down.
Oh, Casey got another one. Oh, just missed that.
All right, that's William Warner on the throw and just leaves it a little short. Kaysen Goldie once again has
right
a
through
chance.
his arms.
Yeah, has a chance at the interception.
You know what I liked about that, Coach, is Casey got his head around, looked on the ball, and I think the ball was just a little too close to him to get there. But
yeah, exactly right.
But he got his head around looking for it.
Yep, eyes up and played the ball. That was well done by number 10 out there in the flat, and that's 4th and 8.
I like the pressure we had. I mean, we had to get him out of the pocket. Got to be careful though on those ends like that, especially when you do that the first time.
So the Falcons come out in twins to either side once again. This is kind of the formation they ran on their little quick kick on the last series. And they shift now into a protection mode. It looks like they're going to probably punt it away again. I think we got a false start on the right tackle there, yeah.
Yep. Connor did a good job. He hustled back there, so that was good, so he could get a return.
Yeah, it looked like they just had a little bit of a flinch over there on the right side. And the Wolves will take the 5-yard freebie, march them back a little bit more, and now the Falcons will be kicking away from their own 41.
So that'll give us a little hand with more field position.
I think the Wolves will take it. 4th and 13 here for the Falcons.
Let's not fall asleep, though.
Once again into their punt formation. They'll kick it away.
Shortcut.
Short into the sideline. I think the Wolves will just let that one roll harmlessly to a stop out by the Falcon sideline, and there it is. Okay.
So
I'm going to mark it down at about the 38-yard line, Jim.
About a 20-yard punt, maybe 18, 19 yards. So really good field position coming out of this.
Well, I think if you're Woodinville, you're probably thinking that's actually not a bad result because you keep it away from the returners. No damage.
Coach, why don't we recognize one of our sponsors here? We got a couple new ones coming.
Yeah, here we go. Well, we want to give a big thanks, speaking of that, big thanks to Bradley Appliances, helping families on the east side with trusted appliances and great service.
Glad to have Bradley's sponsorship this year.
Yeah, welcome aboard, Bradley. So the Wolves come out with twins to either side here. Looks like they need to get there we go. Adjusted on the alignment. Hunkins is offset left. Ball's on the right hash. Snaps a little low. Karsh picks it up. He rolls to the right. He's going to throw it away. That's a smart play by Connor.
Right there.
Yeah, live to fight another day.
Live to fight another day. Yep, that was a great play by Connor.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that development, Coach, especially as he grows older.
You know, sometimes it's the throws you don't make, right?
Smart quarterback play. That's what we've known Connor for years.
You got the lead. You don't need to force the issue. You've been able to do pretty much anything you want. And the way it's gone so far tonight, I think for Eastlake, they probably have to figure at any given time they're a play away from the end zone, Jim. So They live to fight another day, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 on the far hash. Karsh is into the huddle and breaks it. Wolves run out with the twins to the right. Single receiver out to the left. That's an inside handoff. That's Hunkins, bursts up the middle, gets spun down.
Just powerful.
Just over the 45-yard line. Looks like he picked up about 7 or 8.
As soon as he broke the line of scrimmage, Coach, he just knows it's just going straight downfield.
I like that by him. He just kind of went straight downhill that time. Nothing fancy. Take what the defense gives you. And now you got a 3rd and 2. This is 2-down territory all day for the Wolves.
All day.
And I have very little doubt they'll convert this as long as they execute.
Yep. I think the offensive line is establishing its dominance, and they're putting a foot in the ground and just give that ball to George. He'll chew 2 yards up, nothing to it.
So the Falcons run a little bit more of a conventional 4-3 type of defense. Kind of nice for the Wolves to see that this week after the 4-2 that Lincoln showed last week with 5 DBs. And once again, Wolves run that little counter play after showing Hunkins on the bubble screen, and Connor Karsh is gone.
That's what we want to see, Coach.
53
right
yards to the house for Connor, and another long Wolves touchdown, Jim. 19-0 Eastlake.
Outstanding run, Coach. No flags on play. That was a great way to get down the field. Well done on that, Coach. I mean, I think that Connor right there, they have to respect Tunkin. They just can't. The linebacker just stood there and watched him.
What's outstanding there is you got 3 receivers down the field. You could see it on the replay, Jim. 3 receivers down the field looking for work.
I love it.
That's a nice little escort. So it looks like the Wolves keep the offense on the field here and go for 2 to try to make it a 21-point advantage. The officials are trying to figure out where Eastlake wants the ball spotted. All right, so it'll be at the 3-yard line left hash for the Wolves. That'll give the wide side of the field to Connor's right.
So what do you think, Coach? You think the ball's going to be in the air here?
Well, the Wolves come out with a tight twins to the left. That's Alex Simmons in the slot, number 25, and twins to the right with Frantella in the slot. Hunkins in the backfield with Karsh, and Karsh is going to roll right. Hunkins stays in as a protector. Now he's going. Karsh throws back across his body. That's Finn 7 in the back of the end zone.
What a catch.
Finn 7 with the 2-point conversion. Nice throw. Nice catch. Good execution by the Wolves.
Coach, I was just Connor just is executing as a young quarterback. You know, ability to use his feet, understand to read the defense, and hold the defense. And then he gave his time to his receivers. Our receivers were late to get down to those lanes, but by the time they got there, he had the ball in the air to him so they could catch it. Only they could catch it. It was a great job by Connor.
Well, this gets into the nuance of the game, right, Coach? There's rollouts and there's sprint outs. That's a rollout. Connor's going at about half to 3/4 speed there. He's giving those backside the receivers the chance to catch up to him on their crossers. Finn just works his way across the back of the end zone to get separation from his defender, and that's a pretty easy pitch and catch. Connor with another nice throw on the run.
Well done, both sides of that.
Not possible without good pass pro from the line, and George Hunkins doing the dirty work there with a nice little block on the edge to seal that, give Connor the time he needed to find his guy.
Really like that Finn got his way across that back. He just didn't stop working the whole way.
All right, so 21 zip now for the Wolves, 7:19 left second quarter.
Coming, or maybe a rough.
Official timeout here. Officials asking for a trainer to come over to the, looks like Woodinville sideline. Be my guest, Coach.
Once again, we want to thank Kinson and Kinson for the years of support to Eastlake, the football program. Kinson and Kinson Homes on the east side.
All right, the kick is popped up to the right side, and Woodinville calls for a fair catch at their own 43. Probably the smartest thing to do right there.
Up there. I think that's about the same spot they started last time, Coach, or close to it.
Pretty close to it.
We'll see if we can put that same kind of defense down on them.
No return this time. I think the Wolves will take that. See Ram Rishi check into the game. I know where he's going to go. He's going to be playing at a linebacker spot.
I didn't have my glasses on. Oh, that's
well, welcome to the broadcast, Coach.
That's a lot different.
All right. So the Wolves come out in their defense. Welcome to the game, Ram Rishi. That's number 33. He'll be playing the Mike linebacker spot up near the top of your screen. Falcons come out in a bunch trips to the right. Quarterback's back to throw. Catches crosser right over the middle, but zero separation. Once again, Jack Crandall just flying around the ball. Werner to Jackson Harris, and again, just not much of a gain there, Jim.
Well, Coach, it's good to see you. 2nd and 8.
Makes all the difference. So 2nd and 8 here for the Falcons, just shy of their own 45 here. And they've got a trips to the left. Pistol type formation. They're going to try to throw out to the flat, and that ball falls incomplete.
Pass intended.
Falls incomplete right off the hands of Logan Marshall.
It's third down.
So generously, the officials walk the ball up to the 45. Why not just round up? It's 3rd and 8 for the Falcons here, right hash. Wolves looking for yet another stop here as we move a little bit more slowly through the second quarter. All right, twins to either side for the Falcons here with a spread formation, running back offset to the right. Warner behind center. Puts it up, but just a little bit high for number 18, Parker Eubanks, and
For number 18, Parker Eubanks, incomplete. 4th down.
I'm pretty sure we can get one of our producer types up here in the booth to. Okay. So 4th and 8 for the Falcons here as we talk a little baseball in a somewhat pedestrian first half. Wolves 21, Falcons 0. It's 4th and 8. Falcons shift into their punt formation once again, looking for another quick kick. Ball's a little bit on the ground, but scooped up ably by Werner. He gets the kickoff and once again is able to roll one down deep into the Wolves territory inside the 20-yard line. I mean, he's not Michael Dixon, but it's effective.
Falcons punt. Goes to the 17-yard line.
All right, so the Wolves will take over at their own 17. Field position hasn't been a problem for the Wolves tonight. They've started deeper in their own end and come out of it just fine. We'll see if they can go 4 for 4 and put another touchdown on the board here before halftime, Jim. 6:14 left in the second quarter while the possession change takes place. We'll go ahead and make a mention. Cheryl Hill, Compass Real Estate, helping some Amish neighbors find their place to call home. Cheryl Hill. Nope, Wolves are going to break the huddle here. Looks like we got Goldie and Frentella out to the left in a wide twins, spreading the Falcons out just a little bit. They shift their defensive line. Motion man coming across, that's Fin 7, number 11. Snaps a little bit low, fake handoff. That's number 3, Jack Crandall. In at the quarterback position, or taking a wildcat snap right there, yep. So he fakes the handoff to Karsh, scampers around the right side, picks up, looks like about 5 yards, and we have a Falcon down on the play.
Tackles made by number 75, Creighton Conley.
So, Jim, the script is Pine Lake Ale House, thank you for your years of support to Eastlake High School. Please join us for breakfast on Saturday and Sunday. Pine Lake Ale House, craft beverages, tasty eats, and good times, the best atmosphere in town. What do we want to say about the Ale House, Jim? It's our home away from home. We love the place.
I think if it was a viewership to see, that would be the lighthouse we all look for.
Big shout out to our friends over there, Annie and Misty, two of my favorite servers. Great ladies, but everybody over there so friendly, and always a nice place to go after the game, before the game. Just don't be there during the game unless you want to watch the game on your phone and listen to us.
And both have
So the Wolves huddled up at their own 15 on their side of the field to the hash. Player being attended to for the Falcons, and the Wolves are going to have a 2nd and 4 when we come back. We're going to make mention of one more of our sponsors, Jim, and this is a new one. Once again, big thanks to Bradley Appliances, helping families on the east side with trusted appliances and great service. Personal note, years and years ago when I used to be in that kitchen remodeling business, worked with those guys, and I'll tell you firsthand, they are top-notch. All right, so the Wolves break the huddle here. They're going to come out with a 2nd and 4 on the far hash. Officials wind the clock. Karsh jogs over. Slowly, taking his time. Hunkins offset to the left. We got twins to the left. Single receiver right. Wolves motion him across. That's once again a little shovel pass up inside. Okay. Frantella tries to string it out, but nice defense that time by the Falcons to just kind of run with him, let him run east and west, and no gain.
He's brought down by number 29, Loa Tuiasosopo. Third down.
I'll tell you what, if George doesn't know who to aim for, number 29, Tuiasosopo, would be a good place to start, because if you don't get a hat on that guy, he is going to make the play. Right in the middle of that defense, coming from his linebacker spot, and he is a player. There haven't been a lot of bright spots so far, the Falcons tonight, but boy, can that guy run and can he tackle. So the Wolves out with twins tight to the boundary here, twins to the left, single receiver right, in a pistol formation this time. A little bit of a lean there by George, and they're going to get him. Yep, he's going to turn around, and I'm just glad he doesn't have his hands in the air. There was no doubt that was him. He just had a little lean.
It's a false start penalty called against the Wolves. That'll back them up 5 yards. Repeat, third down.
Well, hey, there's... Yeah. Hey, listen, if you're going to have a false start, you may as well just get everybody on the same page, get it out of your system, and let's just go forward with no more fouls. Play some clean football. Well, under 5 here in the second quarter, Jim, and as we start ticking down towards halftime, you'd have to think that if the Wolves can pick up at least a chunk here and make it 4th and shorter, they'll probably just say, what the heck, let's go for it, and try to move the chains. All right, twins to either side. That's Peck up in the slot to the right. He moves back in to tighten up as a tight end. Twins to the left with Frantella and Goldie. Once again, Fin 7 across the formation. Hunkins in a Wildcat, and excuse me, that's Connor Karsh on that, and once again, gone. Well, we'll see it on the replay, Jim. There's no doubt the Falcons are flowing with everything they're looking at on those fakes. They're not staying home and being disciplined in their defense, and the Wolves make them pay one more time. So 27-0 Wolves with the PAT pending. Here comes Frantella for another try. About the only thing that hasn't gone right for the Wolves in the first half was a missed PAT earlier. Everything else seems to be breaking their way this evening. He might have been over 100. Yeah, just on those last 2 carries. Snap. Ball's down. Kicks low. Beware of low-flying objects down there, boys.
And with 4:16 left in the second, it's the Wolves.
You know, when you get those low kicks and you're one of the blockers up front, I think the main thing is please just don't hit me. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, when it's coming off the foot, it doesn't feel real good, right?
Well, back to Connor's run, that was just like an exceptional play action fake that he did. It just got her on that edge. It was like Connor is going to be an exciting quarterback for our Wolves. I'm really liking the fact that he's just developing every single year better and better.
Well, you see a little more patience in his game, right? And that's experience, that's coaching. It's just all of it. It takes time for it to come together. The raw athleticism is unquestionable. What he can do with the ball, what he can do to distribute the ball. All right, balanced formation as usual for the Wolves. Here comes Frantella with the boot, and he gets a good one. Kicks it over the back's head. That's number 22 back there inside of his own 20. He's going to scamper, but he's going to be in big trouble. All right, number 5 was there first. That is Connor Karsh, of course.
Ball received by number 22, Tigo Hoffman for the Falcons.
Good coverage.
Well, you got to love when your quarterback who just scampers on a long touchdown run is the first gunner down there to make contact. He doesn't make the tackle, but he sure as heck made the play. And the Falcons will start at their own 20, and they have to be just, at this point, thinking, when are we going to get a break? When is something going to go our way? So good to see this. Karsh out of the game at the safety. It looks like we got Finn 7 back there to safety, and Reese Wegworth makes his way onto the field. He'll play at the left corner. Harush Goyle is checked in at a defensive tackle spot. And it looks like we might have another newcomer on the D-line. We'll get some numbers and names in just a moment, folks. George Hunkins gets a handful of jersey on that one and spins the running back down after a gain of 3 or 4.
22, Tigo Hoffman for the Falcons. Brought down by number 13, George Hunkins. Second down.
Well, if you can't square him up and get a shoulder into him, it's best to grab cloth, do the best you can with what you've got. Yeah, and we're seeing some guys on the D-line. That's Ryder Ongston, their 24, is checked into the game. Good to see Ryder getting some run. And I think that Jack Crandall's getting a blow, and it looks like, yeah, that's a Nivarati out there. For the first time tonight, the Falcons moved the chains. I could be wrong on that, Jim, but I think that is their first down and certainly their biggest play of the evening.
I think that's their first down of the game.
Yeah, picked up about 15 right there. The ball moves up to the Falcons 37, and they'll go with a little bit of tempo here late in the second quarter. They do have all their timeouts. So 3:17 left here. Second quarter clock stops because the receiver worked his way out of bounds. Nope. Looks like we've still got the same guys out there. They're going to have to figure out how to cover that flat. The Wolves. That's where the Falcons are going to attack them. I don't know that they're going to try to throw the ball over the top, at least not yet. We'll see. Empty backfield here, and we got a little jet sweep. Oh, and Neve with a nice job turning the ball carrier back inside, and hello to Mr. Hunkins and a team tackle. And they're going to get George, I think, for an unnecessary roughness. Yeah, don't think you need to do that. Just let your friends come there and try to punch the ball out. That'd be the best thing you could do right there. Multiple fouls. When there's 4 flags on the field, we'll just wait. I don't even want to start guessing.
There's 2 penalties called on the play, and they offset each other, 1 on each team. Repeat first down.
Well, after all that, Jim, offsetting penalties, so just going to replay first down. Can't say no harm, no foul, but at the end of the day, we had a bunch of action and did absolutely nothing. Okay, so Falcons handoff inside. That's number 29. He slips down before he can even get going. That we'd love to give somebody credit for the tackle there, but that was just the turf monster that got him, Jim. That's the big guy, Tuiasosopo, but slips down for a loss of 2.
You know, he came up to the line and turned his body sideways. When he slid out of there, I think he wasn't thinking he wanted to run into the middle of that
I
line.
think he saw big number 41. That's Arush Goyle, and he said, thanks anyhow. I'll just go ahead and take a seat.
Myself.
Yeah, sure. Why not? So trips to the right now for the Falcons. Quarterback calls for the ball. That's a really nice close and tackle by Aniv Aradia right there into the flat.
Done.
Gain of 1. That's a generous spot at that. That's terrific coverage by Aniv. Well done.
Well done. Yeah, Coach, he watched that. He knew where the receiver was, got out to the flat, got himself squared up.
Yeah, I dare say that might have been Aniv's coverage on the first down play that he didn't get out far enough into the flat, Jim, but whether it was or wasn't, he's adjusting to the game speed now. That's a heck of a nice play and a great close by him. Well done by 35.
Yeah, Charlie came in on the inside on that left defensive end, and he worked his way down into that edge, so he's definitely caused a problem on the front.
So 3rd and 11 here for the Falcons, and they don't seem to be in a big hurry. They haven't used any of their timeouts yet. We're down to 1:20 left here in the second quarter. Tight trips to the right here into the boundary for the Falcons. And they're going to throw over the middle, and they've got a catch. Tackled by Finn 7, but not before the Falcons pick up a first down with the Marshall plan into Wolves territory.
Yeah, big first down.
Tackle made by number 11, Finn 7.
So now I think the Falcons might try to pick up the pace. They've got a fresh set of downs, and they're inside of a minute, or not quite, minute 7. Clock starts again. It's winding down to a minute. The Falcons with twins to either side. Got a little bit of an early start there over in the slot.
Back in the air.
And the guy who started early and didn't get caught makes the catch out there. It looks like a gain of about 8 or 9. The Falcons will burn the first of their 3 timeouts.
Well, he had about a half a foot start, right, Coach? He took off the line pretty quick.
Well, they see what they can, Jim. They don't catch everything. So we got a timeout here, and
Nice to see that.
great time to mention that this Friday night, the Wolves will be at home, the big boy Wolves, the varsity. They'll be hosting their rivals to the immediate south, the Battle of the Plateau, as it were. Skyline comes to visit. Or, excuse me. No, we're down there? We're down there.
We're going to Skyline.
We are at Skyline.
Yeah,
that
we're away.
Correction, excuse me.
45.
Looks like we got a little chat about where we're at on the clock. Resetting the game clock to...
Well, Coach, as we get closer to halftime, Pine Lake Ale House again. We can't say enough about our friends over at Pine Lake.
Yeah, thank you for your years of support to Eastlake High School sports. Pine Lake Ale House, don't forget, folks, they've got breakfast on Saturday and Sunday. Great place to go take in the early games on Sunday morning, just saying. So here come the Falcons out with 3 receivers to the right. Ball's on the ground on the snap. Cody Peck is going to fall on it, and that's going to be kind of an indicative play for how this first half has gone. The Falcons finally get a little something going, and then just a monumental mistake, Jim.
Yeah, quarterback just threw his legs. I think he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And Cody just hit on him and right to the ball.
Well, you see how quick Cody is. You know, that guy is so disruptive and so quick. He's really twitchy. And coming off that in spot, it looked like he flashed right by their tackle. And he had that one all the way. So
I think when that ball came to that quarterback, he got down and he pulled his head up. You could see Cody was almost on top of him. I don't even know if he'd have got a play off of that.
40 seconds left here in the first half, and the Wolves have the ball at the Falcon 48. Coming out with trips to the left. Time really not a factor for the Wolves. They don't need the score. They'll take it if they get it. And the way the offense has been cooking, they probably don't even need 40 seconds. We go to the air. First time tonight they've really gone down the field aside from the 2-point try earlier. And Finn 7 with the hook up there on a little short comeback route. Turns it back inside.
A little bit of Edelman there.
Yeah, ends up being a gain of 2 or 3 on the play, Jim. And the Wolves will have one more play here before halftime. They're not going to use any timeouts. They don't need to.
We got a running clock.
They may just let it burn.
I think we're going to burn it here. Well, Coach, pretty impressive first 2 quarters here by our Wolves.
Well, indeed. I don't think it could have gone much more right for them, Jim. They go into half with a 27-point lead here on their home field, and I think that from what we've seen, the objective for the second half is simple. Get the backups a lot of playing time.
Yep.
Get out of here as healthy as you can. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes for the third quarter.
In the Gig Harbor game.
Get ready for another week of Eastlake Wolves football. The excitement starts now with an amazing pregame show live from the Den. Here are your hosts, David and Jeremy.
Welcome to another evening of the Den pregame show. I'm David Oliphant, and I'm here with Jeremy Budish, and we are thrilled for our 4th week of the show. Tonight we've got a host of Eastlake Wolves that play in different capacities, some on special teams, some on offense, some on defense. So we'll go ahead and do some introductions here. On my screen from left to right, Riley Hill. Riley's a senior, plays all kinds of positions on the offense, catching the ball, running the ball, plays linebacker and safety on defense, and then also is a snapper. We've got Pax Jacobson. Pax is a junior playing center, starting center all season, and then also long snap and on punt and PAT. Sophomore Benjamin Byman, Ben, his first varsity kicks this year, also played some defense last year, and excited to have Ben as a sophomore joining. And then Nolan Budish. Nolan this year starting on both sides of the ball and kind of a fullback, slot back position, and then also linebacker on defense. And Nolan's also kicked a little bit this year. And last but not least, Jack Steiner. Jack, not the guy that you would expect to be the team's punter, but you're also one of the key running backs and linebackers on the team. So to everybody, welcome to the Den. It's a good night to have you. We'll go ahead and we've just got some interview questions for the group here. So we'll dig right into this. Jack, we'll start out with you. And Jack, you and I've coached you going back a lot of years. You were a soccer player when you were really younger, and then I think you converted to be a full-time football player around 4th grade, something like that. You did a great job with some punts last week. I specifically remember one when going left to right is like about a 45-yarder and just good ball placement. Playing offense and defense both has pressure, running the ball, tackles, but there's nothing like being 15 yards behind the center waiting for that long snap and getting a punt off in a critical moment, especially when your back's against the wall to the end zone. Talk to us a little bit about how you see your biggest challenge in executing as a punter.
Well, I would just say like keeping calm and just like knowing we practice it and practicing, just like relying on those reps. And obviously I got Paxton as my long snapper and he's doing great. So love that.
That's awesome. Jack, I remember down at Williams Field, you had one pressure moment and you avoided some pressure there and maybe saved some points on the board. And so it's nice to have somebody like you that's back there that's an athlete that can also kick the ball. So I think Coach Dan Lenning at Oregon said this week, the goal is to not punt. We hope to not see you on the field too much, but Dan Lenning last week decided to punt once so his punter didn't enter the transfer portal. So maybe we'll punt just to entertain you this week, but we hope to not see you too much this week, Jack.
Well, and I think it's a vote of confidence, right? I remember Coach Snell once saying, we don't give the ball on 4th down to just anyone, right? So if we're going to put the ball in somebody's hands, we want to be confident. And I think, that, like in Williams Field, like what we saw there where, high snap, not amazing. You went and recovered it and probably saved a few, points on the board for sure with your play was, why you're back there doing the punting. So let's move on. So Ben, I guess, as the kicker, obviously you do kickoffs, PATs, and also field goals. Walk us through your mindset before a big kick. What are you thinking about? What are you going through? What's your checklist, and kind of what goes through your mind?
Before a big kick, I usually just try to go through the same routine every time. I also just trust my preparation and practice with my holder and snapper, holder snapper, and just trust the preparation that I'll be able to get the kick off good.
That's awesome.
Ben, we love watching you kick. When we were down at Williams Field, we were having bets how high off the scoreboard you would bank one of the kicks. You were pounding the ball through the uprights. That was awesome. We thought that would be a good recruiting tool to mark how high your kicks were off the scoreboard. All right, Pax. This could be around special teams, but this could also be just in general playing center. How do you and the team prepare for game day to stay sharp and consistent?
Yeah, so I usually just at first listen to some music, keep my mind right, just nice and calm. And then I'll usually coach lets out the special teams unit out first. So I'll get some just stretching in. Gotta stretch the legs because that's where I get all the power for long snapping. And then me and some of the younger long snappers will just pass the ball around, get our arms warm. And then we'll go straight into the long snapping. We'll do some snaps. Then we'll go to jack and do some punt snaps and then a little bit of the PAT. But yeah, just gotta make sure that it's all good for the game and nothing goes wrong.
Well, I think, like you said, I mean, you're practicing, but you're also snapping for the team. And so you're in, and the expectation is, you just got a touchdown, you're going to come in, you're going to long snap for a PAT, or you're going to long snap for a field goal or a punt. And those are different. And so, like you said, you're warming up is important. Walk us through real quick, like the mindset of, hey, I'm a center and now I'm a long snapper and I'm feeding the ball back to Jack. How do you go kind of reset your mind for that situation?
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, when we go to 4th down and it's like 4th and long and then we go to punt, I just got to go straight from center to long snapper. It's a little difficult, but definitely different stance. And I kind of just really got to think about what I was practicing, because like Jack said, just the practices, like we practice so much that just like got to go I know that if I just do it like how I did in practice, it'll be good.
That's awesome.
Pax, one question on that follow-up. What's your pregame music, bro?
Oh, well, I actually listen to some worship music.
I love it. Let's go.
Yeah. It calms me down. Yeah, it's good.
Good job. That's awesome, Pax.
Yeah. Moving on to Ben and Nolan. So both of you guys have been, kicking on and off for quite a while. I know both of you have made plenty of PATs and field goals in your life, but you've also missed some big ones. So I guess just, walk us through, you miss a big field goal and you're coming back on the field to make a PAT or another field goal and being asked to, kind of come back out and make that big play. What adjustments are you guys making? What are you thinking about as, you come back on the field after missing that last one? And I guess we can start with Nolan and then go to Ben.
I'd say as far as the Gig Harbor game went in the blocked PATs, you need to speed up the tempo a little bit, but obviously not a lot because it doesn't take a lot. Trusting the blockers and just repeating the same kick. Sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes it is your fault. You can only control what you can control, but you got to think about the same kick every time.
Great.
Some adjustments I would do is going back to like the basics and just remembering like the technique and not trying to kill the ball as much, which helps me. And
We start the third quarter. The Wolves are going to kick off the ball. The Falcons. Number 9, Nico Fertella lines up, sets the ball up for the kick.
Get ready to kick it away.
Thanks, Coach. I think the biggest message I would get across is keep playing it as hard as you can, execute, put your training to work. Right, don't let off your foot off the gas.
By the Falcons.
Big fight there.
Chico Hoffman. Tackle made by number 48, Cody Peck for the Wolves. Ball spotted at about the 38. First down. Correction, ball's the 38. What do you want? What do you want?
Right back to the air. Oh, nice. Oh.
Jackson Harris, pass complete. Tackle made by number 14, Lincoln Reynolds for the Wolves. Second down.
No, that was a good 7-yard gain by the Falcons right there. Well, it looks like Woodinville comes out to a 2nd and 8. Or 2nd and 2. 4. Side handoff. Oh, met with a couple of Wolves there.
Oh, that's a nice little close there by that's number 33. That's Ram Rishi.
Ball carried by number 22, Tigo Hoffman for the Falcons.
Nice tackle there, Coach. I mean, way to break that down and just smother him. I think it's a loss.
Yeah. Loss, maybe no gain on the play. Either way, it's a 3rd and 4 here for the Falcons, Jim. And Ram is just one of those guys that so athletic, so fast, so strong, all the tools, no experience, right? First-year player last year, and he's
a raw player.
But they're shaping him up, and he's made some really nice contributions for the Wolves here in the early going. So 3rd and 4 for the Falcons. Tight trips to the left. A little bit of a offset pistol formation here.
Big ball down the line. Oh,
picked off. That's Nico Frantella dropping into coverage. Shakes a tackle. Back across the 50. He's up the right side. Tackled finally at the Falcons' 43-yard line.
What a pick, Coach. What a pick. Reached up and took it away from him.
Yeah, that's really nice coverage by Nico right there. We'll see it on the replay. He sneaks underneath that defender and just goes up and gets it.
Yeah.
Ball up in the air, just a little bit short, and he catches it at the Wolves 37 and makes his way over the 50. I mean, he had to pick up a good 20 yards on the return. So the Wolves start with excellent field position in the 3rd quarter, looking to pad an already big lead.
Exceptionally good pick. He reached up there, turned his head on the ball, and just took it away.
Not a lot of guys with better hands than Nico. He's a heck of a baseball player too, and to borrow from the singer Bruno Mars, he's about as smooth as a fresh jar of Skippy.
Smooth like power windows, Coach.
All right, so Karsh into the huddle here. Wolves will have it 1st and 10 on the right hash. Moving right to left on your television screen.
Got our full packages.
And Rishi getting some run at running back now. I love this. We got slot to the left, slot to the right. Wolves are balanced up. Here comes the snap. Connor's back to pass. Looking right, throwing right into the middle. And he's got Finn on a little post, and he takes it down to the 24-yard line.
Well, that was a shoestring tackle. Took it away from him. Otherwise, he's heading in the end zone.
19-yard gain for the Wolves right there, and the Wolves are already in business at the Falcon 24, looking to strike again.
I got 2 Oregon fans on my right and left here, and that looked like an Oregon play there. That just through the middle, just a lightning pass.
Well, it's like Ricky Bobby, Coach. They want to go fast.
Exactly.
So the Wolves break the huddle. 2 to the right, 1 receiver to the left. That's Case and Goldie at the bottom of your screen. Here comes the motion man across the formation. That's Finn 7. Nope. Check that. That's number 14. Ram Rishi up the middle.
Just Ram.
33. That was Lincoln Reynolds checking into the game at receiver. Let's get him a ball. We saw he could catch it last week, Jim, with that great interception at the end of the game.
Well, I like the way Ram put his arms around that ball, made sure he covered it on the way through that line.
So Ram with a gain of 6. That gets it down to the Woodinville 18-yard line, where the Wolves will have it 2nd and 4. And as expected, not in any hurry here. Connor's stretching his legs here at the hash marks, waiting for the play to come in from Coach Ed Kinney.
Well, I think that the coach's game plan coach has been pretty spot on all night. He wanted to move the ball both side to side, through the middle, and now we got the ball going through the air. Connor's showing how he can get the ball with his legs.
All right, so Goldie and that's Lincoln Reynolds down in the slot to the left side here. Connor going on 2 this time. Everybody holds still. Nice work. Ram follows his blocks around the right side. Minimal gain, though. Looks like no gain on the play. He gets stacked up pretty good. Nice effort by the Falcons defense on that play. And that'll bring the Wolves to a 3rd and 4.
You know, I liked how Ram, Coach, followed Julian right up that right side. He was probably trying to hit, you know, that 4 hole, maybe even the 6. He tried to get through that, but I could see Julian's numbers as he made his way down the defensive line.
Well, credit the Falcons right there. They got a little stiff and stood the play up for no gain, and the Wolves find themselves in a 3rd and 4. So twins to the right for the Wolves here. Rom straight ahead through the middle. Easy pickings up to the 15-yard line before he's driven back by a whole host of Falcon defenders. But
they might spot that on the 20. That might be on the 15 if they get a good spot. Well, they might even get
they've got him on the 15, maybe just inside, and that's going to bring up a 4th and inches. So we'll see what the Wolves dial up here.
I'd like to see Rom coach run a little more of the shoulder pad squirt in there, not too high up.
Inexperienced coach, he'll get that. You know, he'll be able to look at the game film. His coaches will coach him up. He'll get that message to finish that run, and if he can just finish it and fall forward as strong as he is, he could push that pile a yard or two and get the first down right there. But again, you're talking about a guy who's probably not had a whole lot of live game reps yet. So in his young career, he'll come right along.
He's looking good though. He's looking good.
All right, 4th and a smidge here for the Wolves. Is that a measurement? We'll go with it.
Take that. It's a coaching smidge.
All right, twins to the left. Rishi's offset to the left. Motion man comes across. Connor's going to keep it. They expected it. Didn't matter. Connor breaks out over the right end. Follows Charlie right into the end zone. We've seen it before. We'll see it again. Karsh into the end zone. 15 yards. That's an Eastlake touchdown.
Excellent up front block by Charlie. He just led the way there, and Connor followed that in 81 right into the hole.
Well, once again, the Wolves with the misdirection play. I think the Falcons have seen it enough that, that's beautiful. Falcons have seen it enough. They're kind of catching on, but just not quick enough to react, and Connor walks in virtually untouched.
Be good game, Phil, tomorrow. Watch.
All right, so 33-0 Wolves with the PAT coming up. Frantella back out on the field to kick the point after. We'll see if we can get a little more elevation on this one. Ball's down, kick is up, and it looks like it's right down the middle.
Excellent.
All right. That brings us to Wolves 34, Falcons 0, about halfway through the third quarter. And Jim, as we go into a little break here while the teams reset, let's mention some sponsors.
Again, Brad Lee, Coach. Big thanks to Brad Lee Appliances, particularly Anthony, who brought Brad Lee to us, helping families on the east side with trusted appliances and great service. Again, Brad Lee, they're a great sponsor for WFA, and we really appreciate them joining our family of sponsors.
Good to have you on board, Brad Lee. And Cheryl Hill, Compass Real Estate, helping Sammamish neighbors find their place to call home.
Well, Coach, everything we've been doing here seems to be just in a full domination of both offense and defense. Let's see if we can't keep
But the only problem we're going to have at the end of this game, Jim, is they're going to need to find a lot of ice for Nico's right leg. He's been so busy kicking. So the ball's teed up, and here comes Frantella to boot it away.
Kick. Oh, I like
Tui
that.
Osasopo tries to field it at about the 30, but it scoots back. It's picked up by number 22.
Okay.
He squirts away. Ball's on the ground, though. Looks like the Falcons may have fallen on it. We'll see how they sort out this mess. We always like it when beanbags are on the field. It gives us a chance to maybe come away with it. But I think Jim Falcons fell on that one.
Yep, I think you're right, Coach. And I like that Kaysen got down there and got that play stirred up and made him change directions and then almost had that ball back.
A lot of hustle by the Wolves right there, Jim. And I think kind of like you said, coming out of the halftime break, the message from the coaches, I'm sure they touched on that. Make sure you're max effort in the second half. Make every play count. Don't let your foot off that gas.
Yep.
And it's good to see the Wolves still making a great effort. So that was 22. Hoffman on the return once again and puts it on the ground. But the Falcons survive it. They'll start with the ball at their own 32, 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle. A little bit of running room there, but not much. It closes down in a hurry. Wolves stack that up for a gain of 3, maybe 4.
Short game.
Andrew Buller in the game there did a nice job in closing his side down.
Yeah, so we'll call that a gain of 3 for the Falcons. It'll bring up a 2nd and 7.
The runner there. Second down.
And the Falcons come out with an interesting formation here. It's trips to the right, but they've got 2 receivers stacked there in the slot. Running back flares out to the right. This looks a lot like a play that Eastlake runs where they're going to fake that little bubble screen. Quarterback keep off the left side. He picks up about 3 before he is met by number 33, Ram Rishi, saying, hello.
Not today. Not today.
All right, so the Falcons are going to have it 3rd and 3 after the reception from Rishi. Not on my watch, he says.
Yeah, Rom here just picked up this game. Coach is looking great, both offense and defense.
I think he's gaining confidence with every snap, and it's wonderful to see.
That's a great thing to see.
Twins on either side now for the Falcons, 3rd and 3. Running from their own 39, back to pass once again, number 2. That's Werner, pass complete.
Pass complete to number 18.
That's a quick hitter. That's Parker Eubanks, number 18, once again. And the Falcons pick up a first down to their own 44.
Tackle again by number 33, Ron Rishi.
There's a number we've been calling.
Rishi staying busy here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, second first down here for the Falcons. A little more urgency out of their offense. The fans want more out of them.
All right, so the Falcons are out here with, we'll call it a trips right. They've got a tight end over there. He's covered up. Now the receiver moves off the line of scrimmage. Okay. Back to throw. They're going to go deep up the left side. And the ball is complete. Ball complete down to the Wolves' 30-yard line.
Big catch there.
That's number 15, Jackson Harris. We've called his name a couple times tonight, usually on the shortstop. That time he streaks up the left sideline. And this is the best thing the Falcons have had going all night here as we get into the late stages of the 3rd quarter, Jim.
Yeah. Had a good pass. Had good pass protection.
So the Wolves will stay patient. Let the Falcons work here. Falcons having a little trouble figuring out how to get on the same page. Now they look ready. Twins to either side. Werner calls for the ball. He's back to pass. Little pump fake. Goes back up that left side once again and stopped inside the 5. Or nope. He spins out of the tackle.
Let's see the replay on that.
Yeah, we're going to see the replay. I think that's Harris once again.
I think he stepped out of bounds. He's signaling.
Oh, officials have him marked out at the 3-yard line.
I think he was out on the 3-yard line.
Okay, that's Eubanks for the Falcons, number 18 that time on a little pump and go. And now the Falcons are goal to go from the Eastlake 2. And Eastlake puts a little bit of beef on the field. Here comes Andrew Buller, big 59, into the middle of that line to clog up the running lanes. And we'll see if the Wolves can hold the Falcons out of the end zone here.
What's Golden? He was on that. Was that Golden? Well.
All right, so the Falcons go under center, something they haven't shown us yet tonight. I formation, handoff to the tailback, and he's into the end zone over the right side. Touchdown, Falcons.
Well, Coach, the ball in the air was their advantage this time.
Nobody's going to accuse us of being homers. We play the siren, whoever scores. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So the Wolves send the defense right back out to defend the try here, Jim. And nice to see the Falcons get a score and put something on the board. Much as the Wolves would love to see a shutout, let's keep in mind this is C-team football. Both teams are here to develop, and they're playing for a year or two down the road.
And I don't mind, Coach, having our secondary, particularly with some of our non-starters getting in there to play and get some reps. It's great for them.
Those kids are working just as hard in practice as anybody else. They deserve a little playing time and a great experience for all of them. So Warner back to pass here, throws the quick out, and that's caught. That's number 15, Jackson Harris. So the Falcons pick up 2, bring the score to 34-8. They're only down 26 here in the late 3rd quarter, Jim. And, the good news for the Falcons, they get the score. The bad news, they're putting their defense back out there, and they unfortunately have not been able to get a lot done tonight against the Wolves' offensive attack.
Well, I'd like to see a nice kickoff. Maybe we get the ball back here down deep.
Well, while the team's set up for the kickoff, Jim will mention a sponsor once again, Kinson & Kinson Homes. Thank you for your years of support to Eastlake football, as well as other clubs and programs. Kinson & Kinson Homes, Eastside and Seattle's experts.
Always thankful to Kinson & Kinson Homes.
And LBM Travel Incorporated, thank you for your support, LBM Travel. Let Leanne be your expert guide to travel and savings. So the Falcons tee it up, get ready to kick it off to the Wolves. Looks like the deep guys back there are going to be Finn 7 and to our sideline here. Oh, they're going to onside kick. And big Jack Ort not only catches the ball, but returns it, bringing his season kickoff return average to 3 yards a return, and most importantly, 0 fumbles. Look at the big guy.
Coach, I think Christmas came early.
Well, as a reward, he gets to stay out there, and he's going to be looking for more pancake blocks.
I didn't see the replay, but I think he caught that over his shoulder.
That was a pretty athletic move by the big guy right there.
I think he got, a yard or two out of that?
You know what you don't want to see right there is any Eastlake basketball coaches seeing those soft hands. They're going to say, we're going to get the big fella into the paint, post him up. Hey, if he can help the basketball team, that's great. Just don't take him away from us, please. For the love of Pete. Holy moly.
Boy. I'm going to have to watch it a couple times, Coach. I wasn't quite sure what I saw.
Nice to see Steele Simpson checking into the game now at left tackle. Aside from Steele, looks like the rest of the starters are staying in on the line. Connor still behind center. Still has Ram Rishi in the backfield. Oops. A little bit of a flinch by Steele. They let him get away with it. Woodinville's pointing, but I think the officials just want the clock to burn at this point. Here comes Ram, and we had some breakdown.
It definitely broke down in the line there, didn't we, Coach?
Yeah, a little bit of quick penetration, and Ram really never had a chance. That's a loss of 2 on the play.
That's a tough play on the back. When you're a screen door as an offensive lineman, and your back takes that. That's a tough one.
I think Coach Derry Hansen will probably pick that out for their film session whenever they review this game, Coach, and I imagine he'll have some choice words, and then they'll move along and remember they played a pretty complete game. So the Wolves will have it 2nd and 12 here, back on their own side of the 50. Twin receivers to the left. That's 14, Lincoln Reynolds in motion. Karsh takes the snap, hands it off to Rishi, dances through the middle of the line, picks up back to the original line of scrimmage, but not much more.
Not much more than that. Maybe the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, picks up another yard. It looks like he'll be inside the Falcons 48, but that's going to leave the Wolves with a big 3rd and 9 here. And for the first time in a while, the Falcons showing some signs of actual life.
Yeah.
And there he is again, Tuiasa Sopo on the stop. And that guy seems to be everywhere.
Yeah, he made a move and went right to that A gap, and he took it away pretty quick.
So Karsh has the play, runs in from the sideline. Late stages, less than a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter for the Wolves as they have a 3rd and 9. At the Falcon 48 and break the huddle.
Good to see that RPO with Connor, see if we can make that happen.
All right, Fin 7 split out to the right with Lincoln Reynolds. That's Case and Goldie down here at the bottom of your screen. Karsh with the snap. Karsh decides to take off and run with it. He's going to be awfully close to the first down, but not quite make it. Looks like he's tackled at about the 40-yard line. That'll leave him just a little bit short.
Tackle made by number 18, Parker Eubanks. Just short of the first
And Eubanks, the touchdown scorer from moments ago, makes the tackle right there to stop the Wolves from getting a first down. And looks like it brings up about a 4th and 2 here as we wind out the 3rd quarter, and we're going to take a break and let the officials reset it, Jim.
Coach, I like the way our receivers ran those patterns there. That gave Connor some real estate to get out there. Well, while we got a minute, why don't we recognize one of our sponsors today? Pine Lake Ale House. Thank you for your years of support to Eastlake High School. Please join us for breakfast on Saturdays and Sundays. Pine Lake Ale House, craft beverages, tasty eats, and good times. The best atmosphere in town, Coach. Always a favorite place post-game.
Awfully hard to beat, Coach.
Well, we got a tough play here, Coach. I think this is where we can break their backs. This is going to be it right here after this play.
Well, you'd like to see the Wolves move the chains here, Jim, keep possessing the ball, and just kind of slowly start salting this one away. I think it's probably to the benefit of both teams at this point to just keep the clock moving, play hard, but let's get this one in the books and start moving on to the next week.
You know, Coach, I've been watching as we watch the weather transpire overnight. I want to once again point out Matthew Fadul has done a great job handling the ball over the center. You know, we've always said that it doesn't start until the ball leaves the center's hands. And,
100%.
He's done a heck of a job, and we want to thank Grandpa Fadul down there in Florida, keeping eyes on things here. We always appreciate our sponsor or our fans.
So Connor takes the ball on a pistol, hides it. He's going to bootleg around the right end. Nice little catch by Case and Goldie in the flat. He gets drugged down by his defender at the Falcons' 31-yard line, but that's plenty of yardage to pick up the first down. Picks up about 10 on the play, and the Eastlake Wolves will have a fresh set of downs here as we move into the fourth quarter.
Well, it was a good play-action fake by Connor there, Coach.
Go ahead, Jim.
No, I was just saying both the linebackers just froze as soon as he came back out of that roll.
Well, I love the fact that he hid the ball, came on the bootleg, and instead of just tucking and running, which he had all the real estate he needed to move the chains, he keeps his eyes down the field, finds his receiver right there.
A good catch by Goldie. Eyes on the ball.
He's got very reliable hands. So the Wolves have it at the Falcon 31 here, right hash, and Fadul back up to the line with the rest of the gang. Okay, Chris Brookshire takes a handoff through the middle.
There we go.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and thundering, and the pile's pushing forward. He runs a little up and down like he's Eric Dickerson, Coach, but I think he'd like to have Dickerson's speed. I don't think it's quite there yet.
The smooth, silent one.
Rishi checks back in at running back. Chris comes off and playing at Chris's left guard spot. That's Ryder Onks, number 24, who helped lead the blocking on that one. That was a pickup of 4, maybe 5. We'll call it 4, and it'll leave the Wolves with a 2nd and 6. Connor back to the huddle. Want to give a shout out to some fans, Jim, that I know are watching tonight in area code 303, Littleton, Colorado. Gabe and Allie and Nala, glad to have you with us for the broadcast.
Oh, I love it, Coach, knowing the Colorado contingencies out there.
Trips left for the Wolves here. Connor behind center. Rishi's offset to that side. He'll stay in to protect. Connor back to throw.
Nice
Throws
catch.
to Goldie on the comeback route with the catch. Excuse me, that's not Goldie. That's Finn 7, number 11. And that's inside the Falcon 20. That's another first down.
Well done. Finn came back to the ball, got his eyes on it, kept it, got the ball in.
This is as sharp as we've seen the passing game look for the Wolves this year, Jim.
Yeah, this has been the best game of that.
So Charlie Jensen checks in now. He looks like he's checking in at the right tackle spot for Big Jack. Jack has a little bit dinged up on that play. He comes off holding something, but he's walking around. I think he'll be okay. He's a tough guy.
Maybe he thinks he wants to get the ball thrown to him now, Coach.
He might. Holding his hand down there and grimacing a little bit, but I think he'll be okay. All right, so Steele shifts over to the right tackle. Charlie takes his normal left tackle spot. The Wolves have twins to either side now. Peck's in the slot near side. Here comes the motion man. That's 14. Lincoln Reynolds on a little jet sweep into the boundary. Breaks a tackle at the 15. Keeps dancing, and he's inside the 10.
He's moving his feet, Coach. Just keep him going downfield. Well done.
It's a lot of effort right there by Lincoln, and you just love to see him taking advantage of the opportunity. Ball all the way down to the 9, and it looks like that's going to be a goal to go for the Wolves. So Wolves knocking on the door once again here as we move to, coming up on 7 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
I think he wanted the end zone. He was definitely looking that way.
Well, Jim, we're going to give a shout out too to, and this is for our ace executive producer Sean Crandall, who's just the best. We want to say hello to Grandma Crandall in Rio Rancho, New Mexico this evening.
Oh, outstanding!
So glad she
Grandma
could be with us
Crandall.
for the broadcast. Jack's played a great game. He always loves to perform for Grandma. Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't?
All right, here goes Rishi off the left side.
nice. He breaks
Sheds
that
a tackle in the backfield.
He's going to the end
around the
zone.
left end. And
There you
congratulations, Ram Rishi, on your first touchdown. That's number 33, Ram
Outstanding.
Rishi. Great toughness on the run, Jim. Shakes off a shoulder tackle in the backfield and scoots around that left edge to pay dirt.
Boy, I like that. He covered the ball too, Coach. You see that? He covered had both arms over that ball.
Here he comes on the replay, and you just see him right here. No, you're going to have to do better than that. You're not going to be fast enough, and I'm going to get to that pylon. I want my
Well
touchdown.
done. I love it.
You know, I hope they mention him on the morning announcements tomorrow.
They should.
Great work, 33. And here comes Frantella in to kick another one. Wolves 40-8 at this point, Jim, and ball's down. Here's the kick. It's up.
I think we got that one.
Yeah, looked good.
That's
And
good.
it is right down the heart.
Outstanding,
So Wolves
Coach.
41-8 now.
6:31 left. It's Wolves 41, Falcons 8.
Special guest in the booth with us here, Coach. Mr. Jim Thatcher joined us here a minute ago. He's he's probably one of our godfathers in our whole production team. It's nice to have him here and see witness what's happening. Yeah, Coach, the graphics, the sponsorships, our broadcasters, our executive team, everything is all based on the foundation of what you've done for us, from youth all the way here to high school. So it just gets bigger and bigger every year. It's great.
Well, we're having a good time, and it's easy to have a good time on a night where your team's winning by a bundle, right? And the rain stopped, so the fans are dry. They're a little happier. And you know what? If they were a little wet and needed to warm up, Jim, there's a place across the parking lot we know about. Thank you for all your support, Pine Lake Ale House, once again. Pine Lake Ale House, craft beverages, tasty eats, and good times. We'll see you after the game.
Definitely a good spot to warm up.
All right, here's Frantella with the kickoff once again, Jim. And Case and Goldie, you might want to sag back a little bit there. He's peeking inside, and here comes the kickoff. Frantella with the boot, down the right hash, back to the 20-yard line. Once again, I think that's Hoffman on the return. We got flags coming in from behind, and he is dropped at the 35-yard line. Mark at the 36.
Didn't see the flags. What do you think, Coach?
Well, when they come from behind like that, they're almost always going to be a hold, Jim, but this is C-team football. Anything can happen.
Everything's possible.
Sometimes up is down and down is up. We'll let the officials.
We had a good kick there for sure.
We'll let the officials sort this one out and tell us what's happening. Looks like they're... Can't tell if they're talking to the Woodinville captain or talking amongst themselves. This is like coffee talk. You got to talk amongst yourselves. All right, so it is holding indicated against the Falcons. They'll march them back a few yards. All right, so the Falcons will take it over at their own 21-yard line here, and we got 6:22 left in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive, Jim. And
it's tough.
Yeah, Eastlake has pretty much gotten everybody into the game. I think at this point, that's number 28 on the near sideline at the right cornerback position. That's Tanuj Acharya. Good to see him get some run. I believe Arouge is a first-year player, so working a few guys back in there. It looks like Chris Brookshire's back into the linebacker with Rishi. Trips, yeah, we got a bunch of trips over there on the far side. Woodinville opens up by throwing the ball, get a wide receiver screen. Everybody's rallying to the ball. Here he comes. That's Brookshire on the right sideline, drives him out of bounds, but not before they pick up 10 yards. And, we'll call it 9.5. Nope, they're going to go ahead and move the sticks. We'll give them 10. Number 25, Brooks Miller with the catch for the Falcons right there.
That's the first time we called his name. Comes Charlie out of the game.
All right, so it looks like Falcons will come out here with 2 to the right and 2 to the left in a spread formation. Back to throw once again. Here's Werner trying to pick on that corner. And Arouge goes up, can't make the play. Aniva Radiev comes in and cleans it up with Ram Rishi, but not before the Falcons pick up a chunk. They're into Wolves territory at the Wolves 38. And that officially qualifies as a big gainer, Jim.
Yeah, that was taking advantage of a corner that just got in the game there. That
he's got new player smell on him. You can, and they're going right after him, right?
Go right after.
Go find the new guy. We'll pick on him until he shows us. He'll get a chance.
Yeah,
we saw that last week with Lincoln. He had almost a pass breakup that ended up being a reception, but 2 plays later came down with a real nice interception. So keep your head in it, young man.
A lot of fun when you play like that.
All right, so Twins here to the left for the Falcons. Back to pass. He's rolling right.
Oh, it might be a pick.
Yeah, sailed that ball right over the crosser.
Yep.
Had a chance at the pick, but safety just a little bit too deep, and that ball falls in no man's land, incomplete. That was number 80, Sohan Ponam. Breaking on the ball, but just not quite long enough.
Yeah, just shallow.
You got to have, Charlie Jensen,
arm length,
Abanov Macha kind of length on that, right? You need to be one of those big, tall guys, long arms. All right, so the Falcons have it 2nd and 10 from the Wolves 39. Back to pass, little hitch into the flat. That's number 15. Jackson Harris
met with a ton of bricks.
Just got hammered.
Just a ton of bricks hit him.
Let's see a replay on that if we can, Sean. That was terrific. Oh, okay. We'll catch that on the replay tonight with with a chocolate milk or some other frosty beverage over at the ale house.
At the ale house there. Boy, they converged on him quick. He paid for that one.
Okay, we got a penalty on the Wolves on the play, so we're going to go ahead and move the chains all the way forward, walk this one off, and it looks like that the Falcons are going to be in the red zone at this point. They're marking it at the 17-yard line, Jim, so
let's see what we got here.
See if the Falcons can put another late score on the board here as we get to 5:35 left in the fourth quarter. This would be a part of the game, Jim, where you know they're going to throw. It would be really, really nice to see those ends really get the pass rush going and try to get home. I look for Cody Peck to make his presence felt right here. He's just teed up down there at the bottom of the screen.
False start,
Ball's on the ground, picked up by 22 Hoffman. He squirts up the middle. He's down inside the 10, and the Wolves spin him down. They tried to stand him up. There were guys there looking for the strip, but they just couldn't get there in time.
Tackle made by number 3, Jack Crandall.
And the Falcons are inside the 10 with a 2nd and short here.
It's going to be 2nd and a little over 1.
Let's see if they take away that receiver screen.
Kind of expect with the
setup now.
Yeah, the spot on the field that the Falcons rather will probably go back to the run here. And they do. They hand it off up inside, and that's Cody Peck streaking down the line. Doesn't make the tackle, but definitely slows him down.
Yeah, Cody came right down the line there, got right to the nose of the ball. That was just a well-done play.
Looked like that was number 3, Jack Crandall, that might have snuck in and cleaned that up for the Wolves. Minimal gain on the play. So the Falcons still haven't moved the chains yet. It's 3rd and very, very short. And if the Wolves can get a surge up front, well, you just never know. Got Fadul in at one end now. That's a big anchor to that side. Yeah, good luck. He will set an edge. That's a big guy right there.
I'd like to see Christopher come, blow that gap, just take this away from him.
We'll see if the Wolves get aggressive here. They might send a linebacker. They might not. We'll see. Doesn't look like it. They're sitting back. All right, so Falcons go under center. Here comes the blitz. Ball's on the ground. And Cody Peck almost tackles. And it's just cleaned up. That is just cleaned up. Who was that?
48.
That's Chris Brookshire cleaning it up after Cody nearly makes the tackle for loss.
Just cleared it.
Chris left no doubt. So that ball, that's a loss of yardage there. And the Falcons have it 4th and about 2 from the 10-yard line, Jim, and we'll see what the Wolves defense can do here. Maybe they can get a stop. They're playing for pride. What do you call here if you're the defensive coordinator down there, Jim? You blitz this?
I do.
You do.
I've lived behind you enough to watch this. I would send Christopher if I had everything I could. I'd send Christopher right into that gap.
Bring a little heat here. Why not?
Right away from him. I mean, instantly send him.
All right. So they got trips into the boundary here. It's a quarterback rollout all the way, and he's got a wide open receiver on a busted coverage, and that's just too easy.
Yeah, just young backfield or our young cornerbacks. They watched him roll and left their assignments.
Yeah.
Our backers took that away, and then we just let our receivers.
Yeah,
they floated away.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy free release, and Falcons will keep the offense on the field here, go for 2. It's 41-14 Wolves. There's no doubt about the outcome of this game at this point. So the Falcons and the Wolves both just trying to build on what they've done tonight and get out of here healthy.
Build a couple plays. Again, that was just a young backfield for us.
So Warner behind center, twins to either side. Takes the ball back to pass. Ball's completed, but that's another nice tackle in the flat by Aniv Aradiev. And Aniv has played a really, really nice game there tonight.
And he's learning that play, Coach, from experience because he's been on the field, and that's awesome. That was a great play to watch that receiver come out of there in the flat and take it away from him.
Absolutely.
Well done.
Catches the ball. That's not a problem. Aniv closes out on him real quickly, and no damage. So the Wolves will have one last offensive possession here, it looks like, with 2:46 left in the fourth quarter, Jim. And as we move into October, this game will bring them to even on the season, 2 wins, 2 losses. Next Wednesday night, we travel up the hill to Skyline, Battle of Platopia, and
Yeah,
and the Wolves have looked. Yeah, the Wolves have looked as crisp tonight as I think they've looked all year.
Yeah, and I think some of our key players are really starting to strive into their own here. And it's nice to see some of our other players who don't get as much field time got a lot of reps tonight.
So the Wolves trying
encouraging.
to Wolves trying to sort out at this point who goes where on this kickoff return. They've definitely shuffled the deck a little bit. Looks like number 25, I think that's Reese Wigworth. No, that's Alex Simmons, excuse me. Alex Simmons comes out as an up back. We got Rishi out there as an up back. You got Nico and Finn back deep. And the main thing here is just secure the ball.
Oh.
Just fall on it. There they do. There they do. I think is that Case and Goldie,
yeah,
I think?
so.
Yeah, Mr. Reliable Hands, that's
Mr.
number
Hands.
10.
Recovered by number 10, Kason Goldie for the Wolves.
Well done, Kasem.
Kason's quietly had himself a real nice game tonight on really both sides of the ball, Jim.
Yeah, put 2 games together, Coach, and that just builds momentum.
It's that consistency, right? The Wolves have a lot of two-way starters in these situations. This is a chance for some of the depth pieces to get really valuable game experience, kind of hone their skills, bring it from practice speed to game speed, and that's only going to help as they come down the stretch here.
Yep. Looks like we brought our full package out here to this series.
All right, good to see Big Jack Ort back in at the right tackle spot. It means that little boo-boo we had earlier wasn't too awful bad. He can play. And it looks like the starting offensive line is out there with Connor and then an assortment of backs and receivers. Twins to either side. They hand off to Rishi, goes over to the left side, right behind Brookshire, cuts it back to the right, past the linebackers, and just keeps the legs moving. And you know what, Jim? That might have been his best run of the night because running through contact, had good vision to cut it back against the grain, and he picks up 11 yards. That's solid work by 33.
Work. And following his blockers, too, Coach. I think that was another sign I saw him running there. He was looking for his blockers out in front.
I think the Wolves just want to keep the clock moving here, 2:36 and counting, and we are minutes away from the final horn here, literally. Connor slowly jogging back out to the huddle. Yeah.
Woodinville's fan base has kept their excitement.
Nice to see good turnout. They're not that far away, and nice to have in-league play where everybody's at least somewhat close to everybody and you can get to the games. Good to see a good turnout for the Falcons tonight, and good to see the Wolves have a nice turnout tonight.
Yeah, we got a good crowd
Lots
tonight.
of parents and fans in the stands, and we had some student athletes in here earlier. That's Lincoln Reynolds on the little jet sweep. Shovel pass. He's got some room around the left edge. Turns it up and won't get the first down, but certainly gets a nice gain.
They blew it dead.
Fumble on the play, but they're saying that was the ball carrier was down. That's not a fumble. So we see the ball squirting around. Not to worry. Wolves will retain possession.
Made by number 64, Vincent Maynard.
Like to get the edge, get his feet, put his foot in the ground, went north. In this case, it went south.
Yeah, Lincoln picks up about 6 right there, so that'll set up a 2nd and 4 for the Wolves, who, again, remain in no hurry here. One more first down puts this one in the books officially, and I think if they can just move the chains here, they'll probably go into victory formation. There'd be really no reason to run another play.
Nope.
Connor jogs it back out, possibly for all intents and purposes for the last play of the game.
Last play of the game, yeah.
And the Wolves will take a delay of game right here, and I don't think they mind a bit.
The delay of game penalty against the Wolves.
Well, reset the clock anyways.
5 yards.
So just over a minute to go here in the fourth quarter, and the officials will wind the clock. 2nd and 9 for the Wolves. And I think the coaches have to be breathing a sigh of relief that tonight was just taking care of business and a fairly easy contest, Jim.
With all our players, Coach. I mean, I think we did it with a full team tonight, getting everybody in the game. That was just a great thing to see.
So Karsh behind center. Here comes the motion man once again. Going to hand it off to Rishi once again over the left side. Dances back to the right. Cuts it, runs through an arm tackle, drags a defender with him down to the 30-yard line, and that is going to do it.
Pretty much going to end it there, Coach.
Yeah. Rishi picks up 13 on the play.
Well done,
nice
Ron.
run by Rom. And the officials wind the clock, and with only 34 seconds left, I don't think the Wolves even need to snap the ball again.
No, I think that's it. Well, I think tonight gives us good momentum for this week for practice, gets us ready for Skyline, and I'm really, really excited to see this team next week, Coach.
One last thank you to all of our sponsors. We won't read all the copy here, Jim, but we'll just say thank you, Kinson & Kinson, Pine Lake Ale House, Cheryl Hill Compass Real Estate, Bradley Distributing, and don't sleep on LBM Travel, Jim. Holidays are coming up. Reach out to Leanne if you need to. Folks, thanks for being with us tonight. Final score from Eastlake High School. Eastlake Wolves 41, Woodinville Falcons 14. Hope everybody has a nice night and gets home safely from the stadium. Thanks. We'll see you next week.
Great job.